We would like to welcome you to On the Couch with EAJ3. I am so excited that you have decided to tune in with us for our first season premiere of On the Couch with EAJ3 live. This is a platform where we have decided to put together where people are able to come and walk through life together with no judgment. You know, the whole goal of life is to grow and to develop and to evolve. You know, when we came into the earth, we were fallen because of sin, but now through restoration with God and with each other, we are able to become the best version of ourselves through community. And so we're deciding to make a safe place that you're able to join us as we grow together. And this live talk show is what this is about. We'll be bringing people in, a guest in, as we walk through their life, and hopefully that you're able to glean gems and jewels, that you're able to walk through your life and go out and live a better life. So we are glad that you have decided to be with us, and we are so excited that you have decided to join us. So listen, I have a surprise. My very first guest that I think that this is so befitting is my father. I'm so excited to have my father with me. He is EAJ3 2, or the junior. I'm the third. And I am so excited that he has chosen to be with me. We're going to talk about transition. This whole first season of the talk show is about transitions. We're going to be talking about how life throws different things at us, but we have to know how to pivot. We have to know how to walk through it and make the best out of each and every situation. So every guest that will be coming in, we will be talking to them about things that have happened in their life that has caused them to evolve, to grow, and to become a version of themselves that has left impact or is leaving impact in the earth. And so I am so excited to have my father here with me on today. How you doing, Dad?
Doing fine, son.
Oh, good. I'm so glad that you are my first guest here on my talk show. Did you believe that we would ever be doing this?
No.
I
No.
know, yeah. It's very interesting. I was thinking about writing over here how this was nowhere in view of doing a talk show. I've always loved music, and then you and Mama told me I was going to preach. I never really wanted to
Yes.
preach or talk. I just wanted to be involved in music, and how God has just combined everything together and have given us a platform that we are able to share and to change lives. So I am so thrilled that you are here with me and sharing. And so this season is about transitions. This season is about transitions. And I thought it'd be fitting for us to share our transition. In 2020 was a life changing year for both of us.
Yes, it was.
We didn't expect it. It came. And even through that situation, we have grown. And
Yes.
so I want to take a few minutes to talk about that for both of us. Many people have heard me talk about our relationship from my standpoint. And so now that you're here, you get to talk about it from your standpoint. And so I'm excited to hear it. In 2020, for those of you that may not know, August the 1st, my mom passed because of COVID. And it was very it took us off guard. It took us off guard. July, the month of July was just a whole whirlwind for us because I think you got sick first, right?
Yeah, I went in on the 11th of June,
11th of July.
July. I went in there
Yeah,
first, and it was amazing that I went in with just a simple headache.
yeah,
That was all I had and everything, and didn't have no symptoms of nothing. And I had the headache for 4 days.
yeah.
And that fourth day, 2:30 in the morning, I told your mom, I got to go now. I can't take it no longer. And at that time, when I went in there at Baptist Hospital, we went up there to the emergency room, and they had me back there and everything and all. And the whole while I was back there, they kept saying COVID, COVID, you got COVID, got COVID. And in my mind, I'm saying, I got a headache, I got a headache. You ain't tested me yet. And all.
Yeah.
And then so when they tested me and everything, all, that's when they found out they came in and said I had COVID.
Yeah.
And all. And then after that, then they rushed me from there down to the Baptist South
Right.
down there and everything and all. And then when I was there, it just seemed like everything changed.
Yeah.
I mean, I was feeling good and everything, but then all of a sudden, while I was in there, just life just had started leaving me,
Yeah.
and I just felt like I didn't have no strength at all, and I was just laying in the bed.
Yeah.
Everything went out of whack. Sugar went up 300 and everything, and so they started giving me insulin and all this and everything, and it was I wasn't eating. The food wasn't that good, so I wouldn't eat. So, and everything and all. And so I laid in there and thing. And major thing I did, I laid in the bed and I was just sitting there praying, saying, Lord, what is this? And I was asking the Lord how, just like a typical person when they have something like that. You think, well, is this finna take me out?
Yeah.
And so I was just laying in bed and looking at no TV or nothing, and all just laying there, looking up at the ceiling, looking out the window and praying, asking God about my life. For some reason or not, when you get down to a point where your life in the front of you, you have an opportunity to see life how it really is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you get serious about it.
Yeah.
And you start thinking about all of the things that you know that you had done against people, to people, and whatever you have done.
Yeah.
That you have not asked for forgiveness, and that run through your mind. All that I was laying and run through my mind, and I wanted to say, Lord, just let me get up, go back, and be able to apologize
Yeah.
to these people, and stay people that I hurt, took things from, or did people wrong, however it may be. I wanted to go and handle that right there, and everything, and then just laying up in the bed and everything, and all, and then when I think after 4 days I was in there,
Yeah,
then they was
4
getting ready
days.
to discharge me and everything. The doctor came in and everything and all, and told me that I was going to have to take insulin and stuff and all and everything. And so while I was in there, the lady I said, I got to take this in, lady. I don't like needles. I said, I need to learn how to shoot myself.
Yes, sir.
So when I went in there, the lady came back in, and the nurse said, well, Mr. Jones, we're going to discharge you and everything and all. But what we got to do is carry through the process of the diabetic stuff, learning how to use the pencil.
So this is interesting. I never knew that that's where you started with with becoming a diabetic. I didn't know that.
I already had it.
You already had it. Okay.
Already was a diabetic already.
Okay.
But I wasn't on insulin or nothing. I was
Gotcha.
taking a pill and everything. But while I was in there, since my sugar went up so high, and they was giving me
Gotcha.
steroids,
Okay.
and the steroids was shoot my sugar up high.
Gotcha.
And so just when I got ready to leave out, and the lady came in there telling me about what I could eat, what I can't eat, and all this kind of stuff. And she was giving me showing me how to use the pencil to
Yes.
stick me with. That I had to go home. So they done ordered the medicine and everything for me and all this and stuff and all. And but God,
Yeah. Yeah.
but God, in the midst of doing that, God touched the doctor that was over them, came in and told them, said, no. Mr. Jones don't have to take insulin because his level's not where it need to be. His levels are below 7. I said, he's not a 13, 14, and like that, so he shouldn't have to take that.
Yeah.
And so when I came in, I said, and I stopped and I just turned my head back to the wall. I said, Lord, I thank you for moving that out the way.
Yeah. So this and I think was so interesting because this was at the height of COVID. So while you were in the hospital, we could not come out there at the hospital. So the last time we saw you was at the ER. In the ER. Me, mom, and I.
That's right.
And they took you out, and I think the other part of that when they took you, I followed mom back to the house.
Yes, sir.
And while I was following her back to the house, I think I just broke down crying in the car. I just broke down crying on the way back to the house, and the oddest thing was I said out of my head, I was like, Lord, I had never seen mom cry, so that I think that was a big thing for me because mom was she's just a strong person, so I had never seen her cry. I think when they was getting ready to wheel you out of the ER, I looked over and I saw her crying. So I stood in front of her so you wouldn't see her because I was like, if he see her crying, he gonna jump off this bed and go home. And I was like,
That's
I
true.
can't,
That
I
you're
can't,
right.
I can't do that. So,
You're right.
so it was very interesting to see her, and I've never seen her that vulnerable before. I think that was a new place in me seeing her that way. And on the way home, I used to think, for many of you that don't know, my dad and I, we have not always had the best of relationship. I talk about it all the time at church, and so it used to be just bad. I was just horrible, just horrible. And so in the midst of this, I think uh, I used to be like, well, you could go first, leave mama behind. But I remember, I remember driving that day, and I was like, Lord, I was like, it might be better if you take mama first and leave him behind. And I don't know where that came from. I don't know where that came from. And I think, and I now looking back, I think it was just the Holy Spirit preparing for here. And and so this transition has not been the easiest transition, because by that time you get home, I came and picked you up from the hospital. We get
That's right.
home, brought you home.
That's right.
She was okay, seemingly, and then a couple of weeks later, then she is then rushed to the
That's
ER,
right.
and you called me, and so I go out there, and so you're home and you're on oxygen, and then I'm out there at the hospital with her, and going through all of those changes, and I think she spent what two weeks in the hospital to the date.
Two
She
weeks.
spent 2 weeks to the date to the hospital, and I think the last time you talked to her or saw her was at the house. Last time I talked to her was at the ER, and I just remember her when the doctor came in and told her they was gonna put her on the ventilator, and her eyes butt wide open, and she immediately she started murmuring, and I was like, are you praying over there?" And she was like, "Yeah." And she was praying in tongues. She grabbed my hand, and after she prayed, she grabbed my hand back. She said, "I'm fine. I'll be okay." And that was our last interaction. And then those 2 weeks, and then she passed on the first. I think, and it's a whole lot more happening there, but
Yeah.
just we don't have a whole lot of time. But my question to you was, how did you handle the transition of losing uh, that my mom, but your first wife, because we're gonna talk to Miss Sharon in a minute, that the Lord has blessed you with as well. But you all were married for 48 years. And so how was that transition, especially after y'all known each other for since what, grade school, third
Third
grade,
grade.
third grade. Listen, this is a whole nother session. Third grade. So that transition moment, how did you handle that? And talk to us real quick.
Well, handling uh, it was rough. I went into the depression stage, and I talked against people with depression, but then I found out it's real.
Yeah,
It's
that's
real.
yeah, yeah.
I went into depression stage that I locked myself in. Just had locked myself permanent. This was it for me, and same thing again. Looking at life again, I was saying, well, what the use? Um, after 40 years, 48 years plus. We've been been together ever since third grade, and we've been knowing and talking all these years, and then all of a sudden we separated just one time in our life, and I was in 10th grade, ninth grade, and then we got back together in 10th grade, and we've been together ever since. And it was just hard to look at it until God came in there.
I remember coming in the house one day, and you wouldn't turn on the TV, so you had the TV off, and I so I would say in this joking way, I was like, uh, look, if you trying to get out of here too, I need all of y'all kind of get out of here together at one time, cause all this can work for me, and interesting enough. Is that I went in the office, I went in Mama's office for something, and she wrote on this particular piece of paper, she wrote, do things that make you happy. And it was written in the middle of a grocery list that she was getting. And in the middle of it, she wrote, do things that make you happy. And I came running out the office. I said, look, Mama said do something to make you happy. Turn on this TV and and live. So, do something to make you happy. And he turned on the TV, and he got a little life back into him. And yeah.
That's
So
when it happened.
yeah.
Matter of fact, that's when the depression lifted off me,
Yeah.
because my mind was focused on just at that time. I was focused on just she gone. I'm ready. I'm ready to head with her.
Yeah.
So that's what my mind was focused on. And when you brought that in there, then I know it was for real, because when I looked at it and looked at it, I know her
That was
handwriting.
her handwriting.
And I know, well, let me get myself together and thing,
Yeah.
And I think me yes mentioned that about the same thing I had told you. Well, death doesn't have a name or a place. It's selected to whoever God let it go to,
Yeah.
and where it can't come to our house.
Yeah.
And I had that struck my mind and woke me up.
Yeah.
It got my head together to realize that, hey, get it lined up. So it was fine and everything and all. And so I just, after I got through going through all that depression, doing all that right there, then uh, I just focused on just focus on the Lord. That's all I had on my mind. It was Him,
Yeah.
and doing work for Him and thing and all, and that was it with me. Nothing else. And so that's why I dealt with it. If it had not been for God, if it had not been for God, and then when the world I'd have made it out.
As we get ready to kind of wrap this up, I think I am appreciative of your strength. I don't think I've ever noticed your strength coming up. I noticed a lot of mom's strength. And I think because our relationship wasn't as strong, but I think in her transition, the strength that I saw you exhibit was something that I had never seen, and that really spoke to me. And I appreciate you. I have come even more to appreciate you in this season of life, and I'm glad that the Lord allowed you to stick around to make things right, to be able to love on you a little bit more, to talk to you a little bit more, to share with you, because I would have hated for it if it would ended back then when I was out my mind. But I'm in my right mind, and I'm thankful. There is the song that we did during one of the nights of healing that we'll rise up, that always makes me think about this strength, and it was one of the songs that I would listen to when mom passed, that kind of helped to keep me strong. And I am grateful that you are here. I'm grateful that your determination to go on and continue to live. I know it ain't always easy, but you've been there. I am grateful for Miss Sharon. She's sitting back there in the back. But that the Lord has blessed you with somebody to even help go through life. We have a running joke. I told my dad he done did it twice and I still ain't did it once. Something is wrong in the house. But I appreciate you so much. There's so much more I want to talk about. But we're gonna come back and talk. Yeah, yeah,
I'm going to say this and I'll be through. One thing I thank God for, God is an answering God. And one answer that he did more than anything that make me happy and everything is that your mom always said, I want y'all to get together. And God fulfilled his promises.
yeah.
He's a promise God and he keep his word. And he fulfilled that. And I'm over grateful for you because I look back and see all that you have been going through, been through, and still standing, and yet still doing what God wants. And I love you for it.
Love you, love you. I it's in closing, and you saying that it is interesting how God answers prayers, and sometimes it's not in the way that we think He's going to
That's right.
answer, but He does answer
Yeah.
them. And that was one of her prayers, because she stood middle ground in between us for years. She's our interpreter. You understand what I'm saying? When we couldn't talk to each other, and that was her thing.
Yeah.
And God has a way. She is still speaking through her life, through the legacy that she's left, and that's part of the transition. As we get ready to segue out, that's part of the transition that has brought on to EAJ3. This whole outlet came about after my mom's passing to create an avenue for people to go through. As my dad said, when you haven't been through different things like depression or wanting to commit suicide, it's so easy to kind of be judgmental in those things. But when you've been there, you understand how important it is to have these environments. So listen, I hope you're enjoying this conversation that we're having, and we're trying to keep it as transparent as possible. Listen, we're getting ready to hear from our special guest. I am so excited. This young lady, she joined us on our last night of healing, on the past 2 nights of healing, and so we are so excited to have Miss Eboria Jones coming to sing for us, I'll Rise Up. So I want you to give her a hand in your own little way as she gets ready to come and share with us, I'll Rise Up, Eboria Jones.
Broken down and tired of living life on a merry-go-round, and you can't find the fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out. And ooh, mountains, we gon' walk it out. And ooh, mountains. And I rise like the day. I rise up, I rise from mistakes. I rise up, and I would do it 1,000 times again. I rise up, high like the waves. I rise the silence isn't quiet, and it feels like it's getting harder to breathe. And I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to his feet and move mountains. Bring it to his feet and move mountains. And I rise up, I rise like the day. I rise up, I rise unafraid. I rise up, and I would do it 1,000 times again. And I rise up, high like the waves. I rise up, in spite of the ache. I rise up, and I would do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you. All we need is hope. And for that we have each other. And for that we have each other. We will rise. We will rise. We will rise. And I rise up. I rise like the day. I rise up. I rise unafraid. I rise up, and I would do it 1,000 times again. I rise up, high like the waves. I rise up, in spite of the ache. I rise up, and I would do it 1,000 times again. For you,
Oh man, Eboria Jones did a wonderful job letting us know that we will rise up. Listen, I am so excited. I am so excited. I hope that you are enjoying yourself as you're listening. This is our first episode in our season premiere of On the Couch with EAJ3. My dad was just with me. I enjoyed talking to him. He is one of my greatest heroes in my life. So here we are. We're still talking about transitions, and my life has been that of transitions. We are here. You could have never, ever, ever made me imagine that I would have been here over 20 years ago. 23 years old, I started a church. I don't know what I was thinking, but 23, I started a church. I've been doing it for 20 years now, 43 years old. 44 now. Working with this. And I am so excited to have people who have been with me since the start of the church, as well as I think in 2012, we started a school, CLCA. School there. This whole episode is about transition and evolving. And so for me to starting off with pastoring and then having a school and then becoming a bishop and now moving into the field of entertainment, our goal for you today is to not allow yourself to become stuck in one facet of who you are. Our goal for you is to continue to evolve, continue to push the limits, continue to allow God to pull out everything on the inside of you to be a blessing to the world. And so I have brought two people on who have been with me that will talk to us about my transitions. They have gotten a view to watch with me and walk with me as I've made transitions through. I have Robin Smith with us. She's been with me for 20 years.
Yes.
20 years, but known her most of my life, all my life. Yeah, because
Just
she's a
about.
little older than me.
Yes.
So all my life, all my life, and Yoletta Smith, she's here with us. Hudson. That she's gonna correct me real quick. She was Smith when I met her. Now she's Hudson now. But yes, and don't kill me. So Hudson, they've been with me since I started in ministry, and I'm so happy to have y'all here as my guests on the couch with
Thank you.
EAJ3, and they know
Great
they've
to
been
be
with
here.
me for a long time, so they know I will pull something at the
you
last
will.
minute and
Yes,
keep
he
you on your
Yes.
toes.
Yes.
And so they are here. They are here as guests, and we're so excited to have them tuning in, joining us as we talk about transitions and how life continues to evolve. And you all have been with me for these 20 years, watching me evolve, grow, develop, become. Talk to me about it. What has been your observations, and let's talk about it real quick. I would like to listen to you all from the standpoint of looking in, and let's just talk. Let's just talk for a little while. So who want to go first? Whoever want to go first, let's
Well,
just chat.
Bishop, when you're talking about 20 years, it even goes further
Yes.
than 20 years.
Yes.
Of seeing you say yes to your call at 16. Now,
Yeah.
I'm a person that I remember dates, age.
She's supposed to be
numbers.
a journalist, and she's
I'm supposed to, but I'm in ministry.
Yeah.
Yes, 16 is my memory of you saying yes to your call.
yeah.
Of you becoming an evangelist. And Bishop, the late Bishop C.D. Kinsey,
Yeah.
our spiritual father in the gospel, he acknowledged that call
Yeah.
publicly, that you were called to be an evangelist. So my memory of it
Yeah.
even goes further back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whether it's the preaching or the singing aspect.
Yeah. So low key, I've always wanted to sing. I
Always.
can't sing like Eboria and all of those wonderful background singers. That has been my aspiration.
Yeah.
So yeah, your dad.
Yes.
He was trying to train me. Yeah.
With soundtracks.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
and that memory came back to me today about
Yes.
you. What you said? What 13,
Yeah, that's
14?
like 13, 14. Deacon Smith, you did a wonderful job. My first solo, I had to sing,
Yes.
Jesus, you're the center,
Center
of my joy. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think Deke and Sister Jones, they dropped you off.
Yeah,
at the
they
house.
did. They did.
My dad was always singing soundtracks, and he
Yes.
trained us. And so he trained Bishop. That's how far it goes.
Yeah,
back.
yeah, that's been a minute.
It
That's
goes
been a
way
minute.
back.
Yeah. Listen, let me just say this. You never know what God wants to do with gifts that you have on the inside of you. And although you may not be able to use them the way you want them to be used, but God still has purpose for those gifts. And so that's where we are right now. All of this has been the creation of God's gifting and purpose in our lives. So yes, this has been a full circle kind of
Yes.
moment.
Yes.
Full circle kind of moment. Talk to us.
Well, I've been in ministry with Sister Jones for over 30 plus years. And just watching you grow through all of that. And then when you started your Bible study at the hotel, I was going through a transition in my personal life.
Yeah.
And I was at Cathedral. We were in the parking lot because I brought my children to a children and youth outing at Cathedral, and you told me about your Bible study. And so back then, because I was going through this transition in my life, I wasn't trying to hear nothing from nobody.
Yeah.
But I just looked at you. I said, okay, I'm going to check that out. And so I brought my girls to the hotel Bible study.
Yes.
And they were so responsive to it. asking questions. They got into the Bible study. And I said, oh, I think this is where we need to settle at, because all of us were going through. But
Yeah.
when they were so responsive to that Bible study time, I was like, okay, God, this is where we need to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think one of the things I'm learning as we continue to evolve, especially on this platform with EAJ3, how the Lord uses everything in our lives.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? To become ministry.
Yes.
To become something to help other people. And so this is part of the reason why we created EAJ3. Especially, in church, you have to talk about it kind of a certain kind of way. But over here, you get to talk about it like it is,
Yes.
like you feel it. And you don't have to feel any pressure. But that's the whole goal. And that's one of the things you've been with me. I think I've kind of carried that through our 20-year of trying to be transparent, trying to be very practical with our application so that people are able to grow and develop. And so that's been part of the journey. I think that's been part of the journey, yes.
Yeah, that's what I was going to share is that, you come from a very traditional background. So you raised coaching and love coaching. I still love coaching to this day. But you come from a very traditional background. But one thing that has always been unique about you is you've evolved from, the traditional preaching and teaching to being more personal life application.
Yeah.
That's, and having to be transparent and going through different things as you've, been a pastor at such a young age to where you are now, and your life, all of that is a part of it. And you had to use that to be able to relate to people. So that's something that, I've had the privilege of watching and learning, and even personally learning how to be personal and relatable through my own life experiences. So I feel like that's something that so many of us have gained from you. And as you're doing life with EAJ, that's something that it has evolved in from the years of you being an evangelist, a pastor, singer, and just experiencing life.
Yeah, I think for me, in this season, I am ready to allow people to talk about their journey. I think in church, being a pastor, you're forced to kind of package it a certain way. But to be able to share and to talk about your journey is just awesome. I want to use our life to help serve people, help people. The good, the bad, the ugly. I think that's so important to understand. I think if people understand that, they would be more encouraged and not be discouraged and feel like they shouldn't, I done messed up and I can't get up. I don't know how many mess ups I've had. I mean, I you all have been there,
Yes.
so, it's been a lot, but God has been faithful, and that's what I want to give out to people as we are talking about this. That God's been faithful.
So we're talking about transition. How about the transition of mindsets as to how we do things? Because being under your leadership, that transparency part was it wasn't an easy thing to do. You're used to sharing yourself with your circle.
Yeah.
But being under your leadership, you require that your leaders share themselves if they're going to get that mic.
Yeah, I think it's important to know that we are, as the church, and I'll just say this and move. I think as the church, we are required to go outside of the world. This is part of the reason why we're doing EAJ3 Enterprise, to move outside of the four walls of the church, to make our lives relevant for others to watch and to see and to grow, and to be real. And I think that if we continue to do that, I think people will develop. And this is one of the reasons why we created this platform, and other guests that will come. We're going to have that avenue for people to know this is real. Things happen. You fall, you get up, you succeed, but you got to keep going. And so that is the requirement I had, because this is what I saw. I didn't know that it would go this far, but I really wanted you all to understand that this is what this concept was about.
And even under your leadership, even in the falling phases of us that are under your leadership, the way that you handle failure was just life changing for me, because you're so aware of nobody's perfect, and you always made it. Even on the business standpoint, when we had the school, you always made it so comfortable to fail. You know, if for lack of a better way to even explain that, but you always had that encouragement to say it's gonna work out.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you know, I have to come in there and knock on your door. The fear,
Yeah.
but then the automatic comfort that I received from being under your leadership, just as my boss,
Yeah.
to that it's okay. Okay, you messed up. You're not perfect, Yoletta.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
think
gonna be
that's
okay.
important. I think learning that for myself helps me to give that to other people, and learning that through God. He helps cover me, get me up, and so I pay it forward.
Yeah.
And that's the goal. That's that's the thing that we're trying to do. Listen, I want to say this. Listen, at EAJ3 Enterprise, I want you to understand that we are continuing to create this platform for that. I brought these people on, my dad, Sister Robin and Yoletta. I brought them on because they have been a part of the journey. This is our first episode, and this episode was designed just to talk to you about the journey of how we came to this point. I'm telling you, I'm so excited about the things that we have to come. Listen, our goal is for you to be living your life like it's golden. That's our goal. That's our goal. We want you to be able to pull in and go out and to live your life, to do the things that God has called you to do. And we want this platform to be that of encouragement to you. Listen, Euphoria Jones is coming back one more time to share with us. I want you to give her a hand where you are if you've been enjoying her as she comes back to sing Living Our Life Like It's Golden.
I'm taking my freedom. I'm pulling it off the shelf. I'm putting it on my chain. I'm wearing it around my neck. I'm taking my freedom. I'm putting it in my car. Wherever I choose to go, it will take me far.
Living my life like it's golden. 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 Golden.
I'm taking my own freedom. I'm putting it in my song. Singing loud and strong. Moving all day long. I'm taking my freedom. I'm putting it in my stroke. I be hot stepping y'all. Letting the joy unfold down.
Living my life like it's golden. 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 Golden.
I'm holding on to my